On Reddit, a 26-year-old woman shared video footage of a stranger ringing her doorbell. While the footage itself might seem quite innocent, as the man just stands there after ringing the bell, the story and details that the woman shared on the post make the situation far more unsettling. To begin with, the OP stated that she has no idea who this man is and what he wanted from her, as she has never seen or met him in public or any other place other than her doorstep. What makes the situation even stranger is that this same man tried to ring her doorbell on multiple instances in the span of a single month. And 2 of these times he was standing next to the OP's door as late as 9:40 p.m., which is definitely not an appropriate time to approach a stranger's house. However, what creeped out the homeowner most is that while she was looking through the doorbell camera footage, she noticed that one time this unknown man was at her door within just 1 minute of her getting back home from a walk with her dog. This raises a lot of questions about the intent of this presumed man, potentially suggesting that the man could have been a stalker. There is, of course, a chance that the stranger did not have any actual malicious intent and that the whole situation is just a big misunderstanding. However, many people noticed some really odd and creepy details about the man, which would suggest otherwise. Notably, in all of the videos captured, most of the time, the man is either covering his face or positioning himself in a way so that the camera would not pick up any details of his facial appearance. Additionally, in all of the footage, you can notice him profusely sweating as well as holding a big bag, which could contain anything from weapons to other tools that could be used to break in or attack the innocent woman. While it would seem that the story could not get any worse, the OP soon replied to a comment under her post asking for updates. The reply was as follows: "Yes, there is, and it's scary. I'm totally unsure what to do at this point." After this ominous reply, the woman completely stopped posting and didn't give any further updates for 4 months, which made the community extremely worried about her safety. You haven't posted in 4 months, and this string of comments was the last thing you posted. Are you okay? I've got my fingers crossed that you're just avoiding saying anything further online because there's an active case with the police and your safety is in the process of being protected. After about 2 weeks from this comment, the OP finally replied to this thread saying this: "My heart, man, this sucks. Every time I get a Reddit notification, my heart just sinks. I'll make an update at some point, but this post humbled me in a way I wasn't ready for. The deleted comments on Reddit make this so dark. He found this post like you all said he would. This is unhinged. Am I high? Was this supposed to provide me with an explanation for this stranger who I have never spoken to in person showing up? And the jury is out on whether this man is naked on those videos. Come the on. Some part of me wants to wrap my brain and squint my eyes certain way at this and be able to say, this man is normal. He's doing normal things, and people conduct themselves this way all the time, and I am being crazy. This was just the worst case scenario. I'm drunk and felt brave, so if I delete later, please forgive me." It is hard to understand the complete context of the reply, as the OP explained that she was under the influence of alcohol while writing it. However, the general message of the reply seems to suggest that the mysterious man managed to come across this Reddit post, leaving the OP in an even more scared and paranoid state. There is also a mention of a discussion on whether the man is naked in the footage, which was raised by some commenters. This speculation came from one of the videos, in which once the man turns around, it appears that he isn't wearing any pants. No matter how intriguing this detail would be, it is probably wrong, and the man is most likely just wearing some sort of skinny jeans, just like in the other videos. Going back to the OP's unsettling reply, there is actually a linked screenshot of her conversation with another unknown Reddit user who wrote to her claiming to be the man in the Doorbell videos. "Please remove the post. I'm not a stalker." To which the OP replied, "Taking this to the police, thank you." It is obviously not certain whether the person who texted the OP is actually the same man that we see in the videos, as it could have just been a random Redditor trying to scare the women as a prank. Unfortunately, after this, the OP did not give any further updates regarding the story, leaving the community with more questions than answers. However, she continued being active in other subreddits for the following years, and she did supposedly contact the police once she received the creepy message on Reddit, which would suggest that she is most likely safe, and that the stalker either got scared because of the high publicity of the post or was finally stopped by law enforcement. On December 2nd, 2021, a Reddit user named The Dude Abides 227 posted an unsettling video on the subreddit What Is This Thing? The video was originally shared with the OP by their neighbors, and it features a mysterious woman walking up to the neighbor's door with a weird electronic device. In the footage, you can see how a seemingly hesitant woman walks next to the entrance of a house and holds up a mysterious device next to the doorbell camera for a few moments, after which she quickly leaves without ringing the bell or taking any further action. The homeowners were startled with this discovery and quickly sent the video to the OP to inform and warn them about the situation. The OP then uploaded the same video on Reddit in hopes to figure out the purpose of the device seen in the video and the possible intentions of the woman, to which the community soon replied with a ton of different explanations. One of the most proposed theories was that what is seen in the video is some type of a jamming device used to attack the Ring camera and gain access to all the footage captured by it. This way, potential thieves could target homes by examining the doorbell footage and figuring out the exact times when the residents are leaving for work or school, giving them an opportunity to break into the home without the risk of being immediately caught by the owners. However, some other comments speculated that the device that the woman was using was actually something known as an RFID cloner. These or similar devices are known to be used as a notorious tactic by car thieves, which involves attempting to pick up signals from car keys that are hung up or placed next to the entrance. If successful, this allows thieves to then clone the remote car keys and give them access to the homeowner's car, which is usually parked right outside the house. While these two scenarios are both reasonable explanations of the incident, there is still a lingering question of why would the woman try to do this in broad daylight without covering her face or otherwise trying to conceal her identity. Furthermore, the stranger is seemingly walking with the device completely out in the open and is not trying to hide it in a pocket or a bag. This leads us to yet another possible explanation, which is that the device is actually a 5G EMF detector. considering that the date of the video captured is not that far from the launch of worldwide access to 5G, it could be possible that the woman was just someone who was paranoid or suspicious of the new network technology due to conspiracy theories that suggested 5G is dangerous for human health. If this was true, it would explain why the woman was not trying to hide the device or her face, as she possibly didn't have any ill intentions and is just someone from the region trying to check for appliances emitting 5G signals. In the end, the actual intent of the strange woman is still left unknown, as there were no further updates suggesting that she ever came back. However, the author of the post did mention that they contacted the local police about the incident, and that although the device could still not be accurately identified, the police reassured the residents that they will keep an eye out for any suspicious activity. On a dark winter night, this doorbell camera captured footage of an empty entryway with seemingly nothing else special taking place. However, after some time passes in the video, a creepy voice can be heard whispering something in Spanish. Upon finding this footage, the owner of the house shared it on two subreddits, Paranormal Encounters and Ring, trying to figure out what exactly was it that their camera captured that night. In one of the posts, the OP stated they live in Miami, where Spanish is a relatively widely spoken language. However, they also confirmed that the person speaking is definitely not someone from their household, nor is it anyone from the neighbors, which creeped the house owner most. The immediate response from the majority of the commenters was saying that it could be potential intruders next to the door whispering to each other while scoping out the home. But the owner quickly debunked this theory by mentioning that they have multiple cameras set up around the property and that none of them detected any people around the house during that same time. While a couple of comments suggested it was the OP themselves whispering in an attempt to create a creepy video and gain clout, others on the Paranormal Encounters subreddit jumped to the conclusion that this is paranormal activity, and some users even mentioned seeing an orb flying away, hinting that it could have been a ghost or some other spirit. However, even though the paranormal theories seem interesting, the most likely and realistic scenario in this case is that the voice came from the camera itself. On the Ring thread, one Reddit user asked the house owner whether the recording said motion detected or live view, explaining that the second option would mean that someone has gained access to their account and is using their camera. The owner replied that it did indeed say live view, confirming that the voice is coming from the camera itself and that somebody has potentially hacked into their Ring account. As for what exactly was said during the recording still remains unclear. Some Spanish speakers said whatever is whispered in the video makes completely no sense, and that it would roughly translate to the end, love them, or the end, the amen, while others said that they would make out the translation to be 12:02 a.m. However, one user from Mexico pointed out that the whispers seem to sound similar to a part of a Catholic prayer, which would translate into from the beginning and from centuries and centuries, amen, adding to the creepiness of the recording. Unfortunately, with only this amount of information about the incident, it is impossible to know what truly happened, apart from guessing that it might have potentially been a hacker trying to scare the house owners, or maybe even turning on the microphone on the camera by pure accident. Nevertheless, the majority of comments advise the OP to watch out and to quickly change all of their passwords for security reasons.